Sir. As Juan Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. But we do not teach you to rise to the occasion here, folks. We teach you how to fall to your level of preparation. Again, another day, 10-mile day. Oh, those long run days. And if you can recall, this week to last week, I'm actually standing after, right? I knocked out 10 miles today. Took a good solid, got some solid food. Had some bole yesterday, so it was a very, really solid meal going into a 10-mile run today. And, yesterday I gave my legs a little bit of a break with the 2 miler, so this 10 miles felt a whole lot better than maybe one I did after 8 mile or a 6 mile day or something like that. So all that being said, I'm gonna make this one fairly short and sweet, seeing that I gotta jump on the live stream. Today is Wintrepreneur. Let's go ahead and look at it. It's Wintrepreneur Wednesday. We're jumping into some content today about leaving digital footprints and the realities of being a wintrepreneur. So jumping on that in about a little less than an hour from this recording. So want to make sure I get this Move Swiftly thought out nice, short and sweet today, because I have to address this again. These New York Knickerbockers, these New York Knicks are making headlines for being stupid. For being stupid. First of all, firing the coach that took them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and now since then they've been in the headlines for not getting certain interviews with prominent names. So they didn't have a plan on who they were going to replace this, a very, very, very qualified coach that they fired. They didn't have a plan on who they were going to replace him with, and the stories and the media, I'll say, pretty much the stories, sources, credible sources, have come out, and I do actually believe them, because where there's smoke, there's fire. And as we can see right now, the New York Knicks do not have a head coach, even though we're a couple months away, not too far away from the NBA basketball season starting. But the New York Knicks reportedly reached out to Dawn Staley to be the head coach of the New York Knicks, the current head coach of the University of South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball team. And I say women's basketball team, not as a slight, not as an individual that says, hey, a woman's not qualified to coach men, or women don't know basketball. Anything that you fucking feminists like to put out there to give yourself excuses for not getting to the places where you want to be. And that's another conversation for another day. In fact, yesterday I tuned into a little bit of Candace Owens taking on like 20 different feminists, and I got to give her props, man. I don't know how she can stand the kind of arrogance and bullshit that came out of a lot of these ladies' mouths. But let me just address why it's a bad idea for the New York Knicks to hire Dawn Staley as their head coach. Again, the fact, I would actually go further to say that Dawn Staley is probably just as good, if not better, than a lot of men when it comes to the X's and O's and, drawing up plays and needing to put certain people in certain places, all that kind of stuff. I think women in general who know the game of basketball and coach the game of basketball are forced to do that side of basketball, because the ladies that they are coaching are not as athletic as the men, so they got to be more creative in terms of their play calling, their play design, in terms of their play and just the way they draw plays, which is 1,000% fair. If they're talking about her being an assistant coach or something like that, I'm with it. I'm like, okay, absolutely. That's somebody that I think would be good in that position. Now we're talking about being the head coach of an NBA basketball franchise. There is a need for scouting. There's a need for personnel and making sure you're having the right people in place. And she has not coached that type of athletic ability, which means there's a limit in terms of what she's going to be able to produce with her great play calling. Okay, she will be out scouted, so to speak, in terms of who can do what can do this. And again, I hear the argument of, okay, there's going to be things around her that make her a great scout and all that. No, at the end of the day, she's the head coach, and the buck has to stop with her. And that's where the issue, that's where the problem would be if you decide to take her from a women's basketball organization and then put her in the NBA. Now, if you're talking about maybe women's college basketball going to the men's college basketball game, where you get an opportunity to see the players develop into NBA guys, okay, that now you have a conversation. But just jump from women's college basketball to the NBA, that's just disrespecting the game. It really is. It's disrespecting the game. in so many different ways. So you got to be cognizant of that, and you got to understand that the politics and the pundits out there who want to push feminist movements and all this kind of stuff, they're not going to allow you to think in this logical way in terms of qualifications. They're just going to think marketing and what's going to give me PR. So as business owners now, we got to make sure we're cognizant of that and what's going to be marketing, what's going to have some actual substance in terms of the moves we make and the people we bring in. All right. So again, all of that being said, I'll dive deeper into all of these sorts of concepts. Be sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I'm doing. It's makeyeamove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs as one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.